Over 72,000 COVID-19 patients have been added to the recovery list, the highest daily number of survivors since the onset of the pandemic. An infectious disease expert says the record high number of recoveries suggests that our healthcare system can manage the health crisis. 4 areas in the country remain under tropical cyclone wind signal number 2, even as Typhoon Bising slightly weakens and decelerates. The country's Disaster Management Council, which is now on red alert, has instructed local governments to conduct preemptive measure or evacuation. And the top officials have dismissed rumors that a group of retired and active military officers have withdrawn support for President Duterte. Focused and fearless, here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. Pag-asa reports that Typhoon Bising slightly weakens as it moves westward and northwestward over the Philippine Sea. Let's get the latest on this from weather forecaster Meno Mendoza. Sir Meno, good evening.
Good evening at magandang gabi din sa ating mga kababayan.
Sir Meno, first off, can you tell us yung eksakto pong location itong Typhoon Bising and what areas are actually affected?
Okay, yung ating bagyong si Bising, ito'y kaninang ika-4 ng hapon sa kasalukuyan nasa layong 290 kilometers silangan ng Verac, Catanduanes. So ang mga affected areas nito, meron pa rin tayong nakataas na signal number 2 sa Catanduanes, sa Northern Samar at saka sa Eastern Samar at yun sa Samar. Yung signal number 1 naman natin, in effect pa rin yan dito sa eastern portion ng Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon at Masbate, ngayon natin sa Burias Island at sa Ticao Island. At may mga ilang bahagi pa rin sa Kabisayaan tulad dito sa Biliran, sa Leyte, Southern Leyte at sa northern portion ng Cebu, gayon na rin sa Bantayan and Camotes Island at sa bandang Mindanao naman sa Dinagat Island, sa Siargao Island at sa Bugas, Grande Island. Yan ang mga apektadong lugar dahil nakataas nga yung ating mga signal number 1 at signal number 2.
Sir Meno, naiulat po na itong si Bising ay bahagya na pong humina. So ano po ang dapat pong paghandaan ng ating mga kababayang lalo na po doon sa inaasahang pag-ulan?
Okay, bahagya man itong humina, subalit yung mga pag-ulan natin, inaasahan pa rin na malakas ang mararanas pang mga pag-ulan. Ngayon hanggang ngayong gabi, patuloy pa rin niyang mararanasan ng moderate to heavy with at times intense rains dito nga sa Eastern Visayas at sa Bicol region. At bukas, patuloy pa rin mararanasan naman ang moderate to heavy rains na mid-intense rains pa rin Bicol region at Northern Samar. So yung mga kababayan natin na patuloy na nakakaranas ng mga pag-ulan, pinapayuhan natin na maging alerto pa rin sa posibleng pagkakaroon po ng mga flash floods at landslides. At doon naman sa nakataas yung ating mga signal number 1 and 2 pa rin, yung mga nasa baybaying dagat natin. Pinapayuhan natin na kung sakaling palikasin sila ng kanilang mga local LGUs, sumunod na lang po dahil medyo malakas pa rin po ang hangin at ang malakas na hangin po natin ay nagdadala po rin ng malalaking alot. Kaya pinapayuhan yung mga nasa coastal area na kung kailangan lumikas po sila.
Sir Meno, in the past we've experienced ito pong pagbabaha dahil nga sa pagpapakawala ng mga tubig ng dams. Ano po ang status ng ating mga major reservoirs as of today?
Sa ngayon naman ng ating mga dams, hindi pa nag-i-spilling yan dahil na ang ating mga pag-ulan nararanasan lamang yan dito sa may Bicol region at dito sa may Visayas area. Ang ating mga dam kasi nandun sa Northern Luzon, sa particular sa Luzon, So ngayon wala pa naman silang natatanggap na ulan. So wala pa tayong dapat ipangamba sa pagpapakawala ng mga tubig.
Panghuli na lamang po, Sir Meno, pwede niyo po kaming bigyan ulit ng projection kung ano po yung tinatahak na daan ito ni Typhoon Bising and of course kung expected pa rin po ba siyang maglandfall at sakali po ba lalakas pa siya?
Sa ngayon, nakikita natin na dahil humihina na nga siya, hindi na siya lalakas pa pero mananatili pa siya sa typhoon category at ito nga ay tatahak nga na papunta dito sa bandang Luzon pero wala tayong inaasang maglalandfall. Kaya lang magiging maulan pa rin itong eastern portion ng northern at saka central and southern Luzon. Sa mga susunod na araw ay posibleng maranasan natin dito ang mga pag-ulan.
Maraming salamat po. That is Sir Meno Mendoza of the Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, says evaluations are now underway in some areas due to Typhoon Bising. In an earlier interview with us, spokesperson Mark Timbal noted that around 32 families in Mapanas, northern Samar, have already been evacuated, while some areas in Bicol region have also started their preemptive evacuations. Timbal expressed confidence that health protocols against COVID-19 will be strictly observed in evacuation centers. He said the agency has already released guidelines, which include the number of allowed evacuees per site to ensure physical distancing.
We have advised the local governments that that evacuation centers must not be filled to the brim, and we should only put in people or evacuees that can maintain social distancing in the areas.
Now, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. Both the Defense Department and the Armed Forces deny that a group of retired and active military officers are withdrawing their support for President Duterte. DND Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, a retired Army general, said the disinformation is a reckless agitation from detractors. AFP Chief of Staff General Cirilito Sobejana, meanwhile, said if ever such a group will be created in the future, military officers and enlisted personnel will not be involved in it. Foreign Affairs Chief Chidoro Locsin Jr. commends the Philippine Coast Guard for its show of force in the West Philippine Sea, calling it a serious patrolling. Locsin also assured that the country is still well safeguarded by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty between the Philippines and the United States. Now, under the pact, the two countries will come in defense of each other in case of a foreign attack. And the fishermen crew of Jember 1 has started to return to the Recto Bank in the West Philippine Sea 2 years after their boat was sunk by a Chinese ship. They say, however, that they can't help but immediately vacate the fishing grounds once they notice Chinese vessels approaching their ships as to avoid any skirmishes in the area. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department reports more than 10,000 new COVID-19 cases for the fourth consecutive day. This brings the total caseload to more than 936,000, some 141,000 of which are still active. At least 150 more deaths were confirmed in the past 24 hours, bringing the total tally to nearly 16,000. Total recoveries are now at 779,000, with over 72,000 additional survivors today. The Health Department also confirms additional cases of the previously detected COVID-19 variants in the country. Nearly 270 new cases of the B117 or UK variant were recorded, bringing the total to 658. Of the number, 188 are local cases, 11 are returning overseas Filipinos, while the remaining 67 are still being verified. Meanwhile, 351 additional cases of the B1351 or South African variant were detected, pushing the total to 695. At least 263 of which are local cases, 15 are ROFs, and 73 are being verified. Now, the DOH also reported 25 new cases of the P3 variant or the variant first detected in the Philippines. Over 20 of which turned out to be local infections, 2 were ROFs, while the remaining 2 are still being verified. An infectious disease expert says the latest tally of COVID-19 recoveries from the health department shows that the country's healthcare system is capable of dealing with the pandemic. DOH reported today more than 72,000 new COVID-19 survivors. This is the highest number of single-day recoveries since the pandemic began. Speaking to us earlier, Dr. Rontjean Solante of the San Lazaro Hospital welcomed this development.
That's a good data to somehow make ourselves confident that we can deal with this pandemic. We're seeing good outcome, especially for our patients, even if they are in the severe or critical stage of the infection.
Meanwhile, the health department reported more cases of COVID-19 variants of concern based on the latest batch of 752 samples. But Solante noted that the country's biosurveillance program is testing too few specimens. Because of this, Solante said, we cannot say for sure if the recent COVID-19 surge is variant-driven.
That's too small a sample to really say that we have tested enough in terms of looking at that these variants are the main drivers now of the transmission.
Numbers don't lie. Official figures point to lower risk for people already vaccinated against COVID-19. But still, much is left to be discussed about the people's trust rating. So tonight, we invite everybody to join us in the Chiefs Presents Usapang Bakuna, hosted by News 5 Chief Luchi Cruz Valdez. Now, during the forum, experts will answer important questions about vaccination, which some Filipinos still find confusing, dangerous even. It will be aired live on TV5 and on One News at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Usapang Bakuna will also air on the Facebook and YouTube pages of TV5, News 5, One News, and 1PH. Now, if you have questions, feel free to post them on our social media pages. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.